Welcome to the Reptile Room, everyone. I'm Eric, this is Angel, and today I want to talk to you guys about leopard geckos. So, leopard geckos are one of the most popular pet reptiles that you can get in America and Canada and the Western world. Are very, very popular. They are also one of the most incorrectly kept reptiles that people get. So today I want to take a few minutes. We're going to discuss what it takes to keep one of these little guys, what his home should be like. So where are leopard geckos from? They come from places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, even Nepal. They're out there. They're all over the place. They're probably considered a pest in certain areas. I wouldn't be surprised. But over here, we like them just fine. They're some of the cutest animals that you can get. So the question everybody wants to know is, do these guys make good pets? And that depends. They're considered a beginner pet. I don't consider them a beginner pet. They could be a beginner pet for somebody who's not going to lose interest in them. So a lot of times parents will get a leopard gecko thinking that it's a very easy to maintain pet for their kid, and their kid will learn to take care of animals, and a lot of the times 6 months into it, a year into it, that leopard gecko is being taken care of by the parents. These guys are a long-term commitment. They will live 15 to 20 years, so plan on having one for a while. If you plan on getting one and you don't care about the morph or anything like that, you just want to get a happy leopard gecko, give them a home, check some rehoming sites, check Kijiji, Marketplace, Craigslist. There are a lot of geckos out there that need homes. Definitely look into it. Angel here, he was a rescue. I rehomed him. He was living with another gecko, and they were living in a very small space. So now they're with me, and they each got their own 40-gallon tank. That's the way it should be. So let's talk about tank sizes. 40 gallons, 36-inch, 40-gallon tanks, front opening preferably, because your animals do not like to be approached from the top. Leopard geckos, you're gonna just scoop underneath them. They prefer not to be grabbed, but a lot of times they'll just walk right onto your hands all on their own. But if you come from above, like a bird trying to eat them, they might get freaked out. And leopard geckos can throw their tail. They don't do it frequently, but they can lose their tail. It does grow back. You can see Angel's got a little bit of a stubby tail. I think he lost the tip at one point, but he's still got a very nice tail. So we want to keep him the way he is. Don't approach him from the top. 40-gallon tank, front opening, that's the best. They can always see you. You're at their eye level. Doesn't seem like you're a predator. So now that we know what tank size we need, what do we put in it? Well, we're gonna need lights, we're gonna need hiding spots, we're gonna need humidity. So let's talk about their hides. You're gonna wanna put a hide on one side, which will be the warm side of your tank, and a hide on the cool side. You're gonna want a humid hide. This is the most important hide, in my opinion, because you can give them so many places to hide, and they'll use everywhere. Leopard geckos will hide under little pieces of bark. The more places you give them, the better they will enjoy the clutter. For them, they feel secure in an environment that's very cluttery. If it's just all wide open, it's like you sleeping in an empty parking lot. You feel very vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? So for them, they want to have that cover, some places to hide, some places they can just dip behind and just feel safe, you know? But the most important hide that you're going to want to get is going to be, this is a homemade humid hide. It's got sphagnum moss on the inside. I keep it damp. I melted a little hole around here so you can climb in. I melted the hole, I didn't cut a hole. When you cut it, it's kind of sharp. If you melt it, it's nice and soft, it won't hurt them. They'll go inside here when it's time to shed. You'll know when it's time to shed because they're going to turn all white looking, and you'll be like, oh, look at him, he looks sick. He's not sick, he's just getting ready to shed. He's gonna go in here, that humidity is gonna make that skin a lot looser, and he's gonna be able to just pull it off and eat it. Leopard geckos eat their shed. It's completely normal, gives them lots of vitamins. And if you have a hide like this that you can see through, you can often see them shedding and pulling it off, and it's very, very cool to watch. So now let's talk about the lighting. Now, leopard geckos are considered to be nocturnal or crepuscular, meaning that they're most active at dusk and dawn. I haven't noticed either of those. Angel here, he comes out in the daytime. A couple other ones, they'll come out in the daytime. But if you have a gecko with some albino genes, doesn't have a lot of melanin in his eyes, they will not tolerate bright light whatsoever. And these geckos, you have to make sure that you're giving them proper calcium supplements because they are not receiving any UVB light from the sun. Not all of them will sit out in the sun. Most of them don't, but sometimes they'll stick their tail out of their little cave and they'll get sun that way. They don't need to have their whole body out. They just need to have a little bit of UV, and that will help them absorb that calcium. Like I said, the albinos though, they very rarely stick their faces out to see the sun. They can't stand it. So you're gonna have to supplement their food, make sure that they are getting their proper calcium. I use Repashy calcium. It's got a little bit of everything in it. And some people also add a little bit of extra vitamins. That's on you. This Repashy that I use here has the vitamins mixed in with it already. So we use that, that's just fine. We dust it on their insects. Now sticking to the light topic, we know that UVB is going to help them metabolize their vitamin D3 and absorb the calcium into their bones. So we supplement their insects with that food. But if you have the choice, you can provide them with UVB light. There are UVB lights that do have a low output. For instance, these Arcadia, only 7% UVB. It's called the Shade Dweller. You can actually see there's a leopard gecko on it. Specifically designed for low UVB animals. They may use it, they may not. They will benefit from it. It's not going to hurt them. So you can go down that route. Not everybody does. You can supplement more to make up for the lack of light. The choice is really yours. But for the cost of these lights and the benefit, I think it is worth it, and you should definitely look into it. So let's discuss heat and basking spots. Me, myself, I don't use light bulbs to heat up a surface. A lot of people do, like on the bearded dragon behind me. You see I have a light bulb there that is projecting heat down and warming up an area. I do the same thing with leopard geckos, except I use a heat projector. This doesn't produce any light. So you'll point it down, it will project the heat downwards, and if you put a piece of slate right underneath it, it'll keep that piece of slate warm, it'll warm it up, and it'll keep it like a nice little warm spot for them to lay on, and they will use it. And they'll use it at night. Bright light, animal comes out at night, bright light's not very useful. A lot of people think that if they heat up that spot throughout the day, it'll stay warm throughout the night. It'll stay warm for a little while. It's not going to stay warm all night. It's not enough for your animals to bask on. But if you use one of these, you can leave this on 24 hours a day. It's perfectly safe. It'll project the heat downwards onto whatever, like a nice piece of slate, a piece of stone, anything like that, and that will heat that spot up, and they will come and they will bask underneath it, and they will use it as much as they need to. So let's just quickly wrap this up, and we'll discuss what do we feed these guys. And I mentioned earlier they eat bugs, and they only eat bugs. But what kind of bugs? Well, you have a variety of bugs that you can feed them. People mostly feed them crickets. I hate crickets. Crickets stink. They carry parasites. They have a short digestive tract, so what you feed them, it doesn't stay with them very long. It's called gut loading. So whatever you feed your insects is essentially the nutrition that is going to go inside your animal. So you want to make sure that you're feeding your animal insects that are properly gut loaded. Crickets are terrible for that. You can use superworms. Mealworms are very, very common, and those are very easy to breed on your own. Leopard geckos only can eat a few insects a week. This guy, he's fat. I don't know how he got so fat, to be honest with you. He's just a little chunker. But he really doesn't eat that much. I give him 4 or 5 bugs a week and he's fine. But it's winter time, so he's probably holding on to a lot of fat reserves, to be honest. Probably got a lot to do with it. I don't know what to tell you when it comes to where you get your bugs. It all depends on where you live. Dubia roaches are illegal in Canada and California and certain places. There's no really good reason why. They don't infest places, they're very clean, they don't stink, whatever. It just seems like they want to make something illegal to make your life difficult, and that's just what they do, so we're stuck with that. If you buy crickets, just buy a few at a time. Don't go buy 1,000 crickets, you'll regret it. You lose a cricket in your house, that little bugger is going to escape somewhere and he's going to chirp for a year. If you try to keep them alive, you can't keep them alive. If one escapes, he'll live forever. You tell me, I don't know, you know. But I'm going to wrap this video up. Thanks for hanging out with me for a bit. Say goodbye, Angel. All right, everybody, put Angel away. I want to thank you guys for joining me for my leopard gecko video. Thanks for all the support. Once again, I like to talk about reptiles, cool watches, cool kicks, and good places to eat. So stick with me, hit that like, hit that follow, and we'll do this again.